Welcome to my channel. The manhwa name is What It Means to Be You. The story begins with a political marriage meant to unite the royal family and the nobility. The female lead, a princess, enters this marriage with sincere optimism. Unlike many royal brides, she is not resentful or afraid. She believes that this union will give her stability, respect, and a new beginning. She is genuinely happy, convinced that fulfilling her role as a wife will bring meaning to her life. The wedding itself appears flawless. The palace is filled with celebration. The nobles show their approval, and the alliance seems successful. She looks at her husband, a powerful duke, with quiet hope, trusting that their marriage, even if political, can grow into something warmer. However, everything collapses during the after-party. In front of the gathered nobles, her brother, the prince, makes a shocking announcement. He reveals that the royal family does not possess true noble titles anymore. With those words, the balance of the marriage is destroyed. What was believed to be an equal alliance is suddenly exposed as a one-sided arrangement. The atmosphere shifts instantly. Whispers spread through the hall, and judgment fills the room. Before the princess can even understand the consequences, her husband reacts. Without offering her an explanation or a glance, he leaves the celebration. His cold departure marks the end of her happiness before it has even begun. From that moment on, her marriage becomes a prison. The years that follow are filled with quiet despair. Her husband never offers affection, attention, or emotional presence. He treats her as an obligation rather than a partner, fulfilling only what is necessary to maintain appearances. The distance between them grows wider with every passing day. Despite living among people, she feels completely alone. There is no place where she feels safe enough to express her pain. Her days blur together, filled with silence, waiting, and unanswered longing. Slowly, she begins to believe that her existence holds no value beyond the role she was assigned. The princess has reached her limit. Years of neglect, silence, and emotional abandonment have drained her completely. No matter how hard she tries to endure, her heart feels hollow, as if her existence no longer has meaning. The loneliness becomes heavier than she can bear. In a quiet and desperate moment, she makes the decision to give up her life. To her, disappearing feels easier than continuing to exist in a place where no one truly sees her. The moment her life slips away, something impossible happens. Instead of darkness, she awakens to a foreign sensation. When she opens her eyes, she realizes she is no longer herself. Her soul has entered her husband's body. At the same time, the duke wakes up inside her fragile body. Thrown into his role without preparation, she is immediately forced to attend an important meeting. The matter at hand is complex, something her husband had always struggled with. However, she approaches it calmly. Thanks to the strict education she received as a princess, she understands diplomacy, negotiation, and reading the intentions of others. She navigates the meeting successfully, earning respect in a way he never could. Meanwhile, the duke experiences something far more unsettling. Awakening in her body, he is struck by a sharp, persistent headache. It is not brief or mild, a pain that had always been dismissed or overlooked. Her body feels weak. The servant's indifference becomes painfully clear. No one cares about her suffering. For the first time, he experiences her world from the inside. The duke remains trapped inside his wife's body, struggling to adapt to the weakness and constant discomfort she endured every day. At one point, he asks for coffee, an action that surprises the servants. It is something she had never done before, just the duke. At the same time, she continues living inside his body. Beneath the surface, she feels anxious. She knows this situation cannot remain hidden forever. Unable to endure the distance, the duke makes a sudden decision. Without hesitation, he leaves for the capital. His urgency is driven not by duty, but by a need for answers. He must confront the woman who now lives inside his body. When they finally meet in the capital, the tension between them is overwhelming. Standing face to face, each trapped in the other's form, frustration rises to the surface. The duke is filled with anger. He demands an explanation, unable to accept what has happened or understand how such a situation could occur. She, however, remains anxious. There are no easy words to explain despair, loneliness, or the choice she made. Her silence only deepens his frustration. In the heat of the confrontation, they reach for each other. The moment their bodies make contact, the world seems to shift. An invisible force pulls at their souls, and once again, everything turns upside down. In an instant, their souls are returned to where they belong. They are back in their original bodies. The sudden reversal leaves both of them shaken. The brief understanding he gained through her body does not disappear. Neither does the weight of what she endured. Now that from this point on, neither of them can return to the ignorance they once lived in. The Duke can no longer ignore what he experienced while living inside his wife. Without hesitation, he carries her to his room and calls for a doctor. The action is sudden and unexpected, not only for her but for everyone around them. The examination confirms what he already sensed. Her body has been worn down by years of stress and exhaustion. She is overwhelmed, not by pain, but by confusion. This is the first time her condition has been treated as something important. The following day marks another change. She wakes up to find numerous dresses delivered to her room. Elegant, carefully chosen, and meant specifically for her. It is something she has never experienced before. Throughout their entire marriage, he had never given her a single dress. The gesture feels unfamiliar, almost unreal, leaving her unsure how to react. At the hotel, the servants treat her differently. Their attitude is warm and attentive, filled with genuine concern. They speak to her kindly, anticipate her needs, and make her feel welcome. For the first time in years, she is not invisible. With the new dress, she and the Duke leave the hotel together. It is a simple outing, yet deeply meaningful. After years of being married, this is the first time they walk side by side outside as a couple. There is no grand declaration, no sudden romance, only quiet awareness. The restaurant is elegant, and the setting suggests intimacy, but the atmosphere between them is tense. The Duke remains reserved, while she struggles to find words that will not betray the sadness growing inside her. Burdened by years of doubt and pain, she asks a question that comes from a place of deep despair. She wonders whether he would attend her funeral if she were to die. The moment freezes him. He is deeply shocked, unable to comprehend how someone could carry such thoughts. The weight of her words overwhelms him, stirring emotions he does not know how to face. Instead of answering, he stands and leaves the restaurant before her, abandoning the dinner and the fragile progress they had made. In his office, her question echoes relentlessly in his mind, forcing him to confront the possibility that her suffering is far greater than he ever acknowledged. Yet he avoids her, unable to face what her words imply. Eventually, she takes the initiative. She goes to his office and knocks on his door. When he allows her to enter, the tension is unmistakable. His frustration has not faded, and the distance between them feels heavier than ever. Inside the room, she does not hesitate. She asks for a divorce. The request hits him like a blow. He is left completely stunned, unable to react or respond. The woman who once endured everything in silence is now the one choosing to walk away, while the man who never paid attention is finally forced to face the consequences of his neglect. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed this manhwa. Please subscribe for more stories, and see you in the next video.